What's up, guys? We are wrapping up an amazing 2025 for some folks and some other folks where you're looking back going, oh my gosh, I wish 2025 would have ended 6 months ago. So today we're going to go back through and review some of the major hurdles that agents faced, as well as hurdles that we could have avoided, and then what we are going to do for 2026 to be able to be ahead of the curve. I've got a guide. I'm going to try to pull this up. Don't know if you can see this very well, but we're going to pull up this guide and walk through some of the things that is important for you guys to look at in your businesses, as well as where you can take this going forward. So we're going to go through the top 10 things that real estate agents are seeing in 2025, the biggest things. So the top 10, number one is the NAR settlement, the changes in the commission game. So guys, this is massive. NAR settled a $418 million class action lawsuit, making it to where buyers had to distinguish what their commissions would be. Now, making that clear in the open to where it's not the seller paying for this. Now, the buyers have to be aware of this. It's made a difference. And so people now are having to justify their commissions. So the lesson you should have taken from this is you have to provide value. And if you don't provide value, you're not going to get that job. And so make sure as a buyer's agent moving forward into this next year that you are providing value so that you're able to make all the money you need to make, because it is going to be a buying frenzy in 2026. So you still need to be able to have enough value that you can negotiate that 3%. So make sure you're doing that. Guys, we don't need to back down off what we're worth. A lot of agents that I'm coaching in their markets, it's only a 2% commission. And I'm like, guys, that's only because other agents aren't asking for 3% and providing the value to show that they are worth it. So number two, inventory is, in 2025 is rough. There's a lot of inventory in the market. So lots of pent-up demand is now fulfilled. There's houses all over the place. In most markets, it's not selling. So you need to become an expert in the market to be able to price it right. If you priced your houses right in 2025, they sold. If you were able to sell your client on where they should price, things sold. So this is where you don't have to worry about the market on any of these things, you guys. As long as you're an expert in the market, you're going to do really, really well in real estate. And this is part of that. In 2025, we should have learned that. 2025, mortgage rates stayed elevated. But what we learned from this is that, I'm going to pull this off. And if you guys want this PDF, let me know. I'll send it out to you. It's not rolling through there very well. What we've learned is agents aren't the enemy to education. Rates aren't the enemy to education. You have to educate people about rates. Most people don't know that the average interest rate is 8.1%. Educate them, help them understand that. And by understanding that 8.1% is the average, having a 6.5 doesn't sound near that bad. So help them understand what that does, how much the rate actually costs. A lot of people look at interest rates and go, oh my gosh, that's going to cost me $600, $700 more a month. When in reality, it's only about $2. And if rates drop down to where they want them to be, the home prices are going to jump up enough. It's going to cover that plus. So make sure that you're educating your people about the market. Number four, AI wasn't hype anymore. In 2024, 23, 22, AI was a lot of hype. 2025, AI came and it's became mandatory. In 2025, AI increased by 30%, 36% in all real estate firms. So that means they started implementing this by 36% in all of your major real estate firms. Projections show that by 90% will be using AI in all of real estate firms by 2030. And what's been reported is agents have reported a 300% increase in lead volume, a 40% increase in conversion rates, and a 75% reduction in admin time. So we're getting way more efficient with AI. Now, where I'm going to tell you my program, the door-to-door program, is going to exceed everybody is this. AI is dialing 1,800 people per minute. AI is doing all this follow-up. AI is building video. It's not as trusted. The one thing I can tell you is AI doesn't do door-to-door. AI doesn't knock on the door from a computer and talk to people as a robot. So we still have that personal touch and are able to talk to people face to face and be able to win over our clients, gain trust, and be able to bring that direct relationship to them. Now, I'm going to tell you AI is important, 100%. You should be using AI for your follow-up. You should be using AI for your CRMs and your systems. You should be using AI to stay competitive in your business so that you are staying on top using chatbots, using lead qualifiers, making sure that your leads are getting qualified prior to getting them to a lender, those type of things. But so don't think that AI is useless. It's not. But if you can do door to door, get all those leads by having people trust you rather than an AI system, that's when you're going to score. 2025, you should have learned that you've got to create content to be a differentiator. Now, when I say content, I am not a social media guy. I'm never going to tell you I'm a social media guy, and I'm never going to profess to tell you that social media is the way to do this. So many people are doing social media at this point. So many people are using AI for social media at this point. What I'm going to tell you should have learned in 2025 is this. You should be genuine in who you are. Guys, if as you're watching this video, you've watched me screw up 2 or 3 times. I'm not going to go back and record it. But if you're genuine to the people so they know you're honest and true and that you're giving real live data that people care about, that is when you're going to find success. You should be posting your successes. You should be having your clients post what they liked about you. So as you close a deal, post on all your social media platforms. Thank you to this family for allowing me to help them buy and sell real estate. They were amazing to work with. Tag them in it. Have them comment below. And then more so than anything, you need to become an expert in the field. Number 6, buyer demographics have changed. So in 2025, you should have learned that we're no longer dealing with the first-time home buyer in the 20s. It's now shifted to 38 to 40 years old, which means this. They're not likely bringing, all this naive knowledge. They're experienced. They have real jobs. They're going to be a harder sell. So you're going to have to be educated more. You're going to have to be able to talk to them directly. You're going to have to be able to explain stuff to them. And the other main factor that you should have learned in 2025 is average seller's age has changed to 63 years old. So as you're getting more people that are selling as an older age, their needs are specialized. They want to move closer to family. They want to have a retirement destination. It's not a one size fits all anymore. So you've got to be an expert. Once again, you got to go earn your money. Isn't that ridiculous to have to earn your money to be able to sell real estate? Number 7, secondary and tertiary markets are going to heat up. So a lot of these markets like Dallas, Fort Worth, Raleigh, Austin, Oklahoma City, Birmingham are going to have some explosive growth around them. A lot of people are starting to move away from the expensive metros. Technology's advanced where they can work from home. This is going to continue in 2026, but you should have seen this in 2025 and had some massive success from it. Number 8, energy efficient and sustainable homes are becoming sellable features. Why? Because we're now dealing with that 38 to 40-year-old homeowner. And as you're dealing with this older age group, they want to be educated. So you need to be able to come along and be able to talk to them about smart home technology, solar panels, energy efficient appliances, and sustainable materials that are helping these houses sell for a premium. So become more educated going into 2026 if you didn't learn that in 2025. Okay, this one is a shocker. In 2025, you probably have seen many more cash buyers. All cash buyers increased by 26%. So you need to start looking at this going, hey, how do I change my marketing? What do I do? How do I increase and grow from that so that I'm able to capture cash buyers? Number 10, days on market. You need to become an expert of days on market. What that means, mastering that CMA, knowing your market, knowing your area, knowing everything that you're doing and why. Okay. So biggest things that I want to tell you as you move into 2026 is it's going to be a competitive market. It's going to be a fast market. Rates probably are not going to drop down into the 5s, 4s, but a lot of buyers are going to become very, very stable in the fact that real estate is where it's at. The economy is getting better. Gas prices are down. Inflation's down. It's more affordable. And people know that prices are going to climb. By 2030, we're expected to have a 27.4% increase in home values, which means, buckle up, people, stuff's going to start happening. So how do you prepare to be able to lock in and capture all of these buyers and sellers? Because if they're buying, they have to sell. You should be knocking areas and contacting in areas where they are first-time buyers and moving out of those into that next step. As you do that, I can tell you one thing. The market is going to get hot. And just like anything else, you cannot become an expert by sitting on your couch. You can't become an expert by expecting people to come to you. You need to go build a database. If you don't go build a database, you're going to lose in the market. Google's coming into the market. They want to get into real estate. A bunch of Zillow prices have fallen on their stock because Google's trying to get into the market. People want ease of shopping. They want to be able to just Google everything. We've all done it. We YouTube it. We're here now. We're on social media. So taking advantage of these channels is important. But more so, you're going to have to go out and get in front of the consumer and help them have value and see value by knocking. The one thing I'm going to tell you is this. Doctors make $300,000 to $500,000 a year. They are very, very smart, educated people. They spend hundreds of thousands of dollars on education before they ever make a dollar. Going into 2026, if you're not educated, if you're not learning, if you're not investing in yourself, if you're not growing, if you're not putting in a ton more time in building your business, you're going to have some struggles. You take attorneys, they spend a lot of money to get all the way through the bar and to be able to have that attorney's license, to charge $350 an hour. Guys, we're worth $350 an hour plus. But the problem and the big difference is most real estate agents feel like they can sit back on the couch and wait for their sphere of influence to reach out to them and say, hey, it's time for me to sell my house. Duane, I'd love to chat with you. And if you're one of those people, you're not going to be one of those people very long. 2025, 2024 were some of the roughest housing markets back to 2008. And there is a lot of agents that fell off because they were those type of agents. Now, as technology advances, as things advance and trust and competition advances, you're going to have to be an expert. You're going to have to learn your niche. You're going to have to learn where to put your time and energy so you can make the most money being a professional real estate agent. You're going to have to sharpen your skills. How many of you guys are doing market research, hyperfocal to an area, know how many days on market, know which house sold, homeowner's name, know each neighborhood like the back of your hand, have hot sheets set up to go to you so you know what's happening in each market so that when somebody asks you a question, you can give them direct knowledge. Price per square foot, how many days on market, who is a listing agent if it wasn't you, what happened, and what that market's doing, why it's booming, why it's dropping. If you don't know what rents are going to do in 2026, time to get some research, time to dive into there. If you don't know about the multi-family housing units that are all coming in 2026 and what that's going to do to the rental market, time to start looking, time to get engaged in this, time to become the professional. Teach people, become that professional real estate agent because that's what it's going to take to survive in 2026. And even going forward with technology and AI at our fingertips, I could ask you this question. How many of you guys use ChatGPT today or Perplexity? And I bet 90% of you have already used it today. It's a wealth of knowledge in a couple of strokes of keys that can help you gain the information you need. So folks, if you're not giving that personal touch with impressive information, you're going to get behind the curve and you're not going to be able to sell real estate at the level you've been able to do it in the past. So my encouragement to you for 2026, become an expert, get on social media, post your successes, get in front of people's faces, connect with them. If you don't know how to get in front of people's faces, guys, it's time to learn. Pay for a coach, get educated, buy courses, learn. But if you're not investing in yourself, guys, you're really going to struggle. So if you're watching this, I'm going to give you a 3-day trial of our role play group. So reach out to me, type in the comments below role play trial, and I will get you access for a 3-day trial to where you guys can try out what we're doing. In these role play sessions, we dive into each scenario. We're pulling up different objections. We're pulling up market statistics. We're pulling up, I don't want to pay a commission. We're pulling up, I have an agent. And we're role playing back and through these twice a day, 5 days a week. Now, if you're not practicing your scripts and you sound horrible, if you pause, if you stop, you're going to struggle. You're going to struggle like crazy. So love to get you into our starter program so you can see why it's important to gain that knowledge. Get around some of the people. We're not starting back up until January. So everybody that's reaching out, I've got some people already typing in 3-day trial. Please hang with us. I will get you that link. And we're going to do a whole bunch of them starting in January 5th when we start back up at 11 a.m. Mountain Standard. We also do it at 7 a.m. Mountain Standard. Guys, I'm telling you, this has helped a bunch of our people crush it in real estate. Got Saad Tai on here. Appreciate Saad jumping on Instagram. But Saad went from biggest number of under contracts is 3 when he joined my program. Here in November, Saad had 20 under contract at one time. And he's closed a bunch of those. He's still got 9 under contract. He's got a commitment that he's going to have 25 under contract. I'm going to tell you one thing. It's because he's putting in the effort. He's learning to be an expert. He's applying the education he's learning, and he's turning into a beast and made more money this year than he's ever made in his life. So appreciate Saad, your example to everybody else. If you guys want this PowerPoint of 2025 to 2026, comment that below as well, and I'll send you the PowerPoint. Guys, love to help you build, grow, and learn how to dominate real estate, but it's going to take work. It's not going to happen by just sitting back. And I promise you right now, if you don't dive in and put in the work, you're going to fall behind. If you don't advance with AI, you're going to fall behind. If you don't learn how to connect with people directly and build a database that trusts and know you, you're going to fall behind. And by 2030, you're going to struggle to produce and provide for your family. Many already saw that this year. So guys, get out there, be confident, be bold, trust yourself, believe in yourself. And I look forward to seeing you. I appreciate you guys being on the channel today. Have a great day.